All right, so if you have a course or you're trying to sell something online, doesn't matter if it's a course, but I'm primarily talking to somebody that's created an online course, or you've got a paid subscription community and you're wanting to use content to actually make money, to find new people to buy your program. So that's who this is for primarily. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in the past, I would create content and I would get likes or I'd get engagement or people would comment, but it wouldn't turn into money. So if you've ever done that, if you're creating content and you feel like you're posting all the time, but it's not turning into money, then you're really going to enjoy what I'm about to share with you. So these are 9 profitable black hole content ideas. And the reason why I call it black hole is because if somebody gets close to this content and they're the right person for what it is that you're selling for your solution, it's going to be really hard for them to escape not wanting to learn more or get on your email list. So on the screen here, I've got a little diagram, and what it is basically I would say, system that you can follow anytime that you want to go create a piece of content. Even like the content that I'm creating right now, I used this system right here. All right. So we're going to go through these, and the outcome that you can get from this is, number one, you're going to build an email list, which is the most important thing that you could be building online. And number two, you're going to increase profits. Okay. You're going to be able to increase brand impact, and also just the impact that your solution makes when people get it. You know, when people join our Build Lab program, they go from not knowing how to create a digital product and sell it online to knowing exactly how to create a digital product, knowing how to grow their list without having to use paid ads, and make more than they would doing just about anything else outside of owning another business, right? So, and then you build brand, and your brand is really powerful because as you grow in brand and attention, as you get more attention, you can really turn that into multiple streams of income. So what you're going to need for this is, obviously you need to have some sort of solution. You know, what are you offering people? What specific problem are you solving for people? Once you have that, you also need to have some sort of funnel. All right, so on the screen here, I've got this, it looks like a black hole, but it's your funnel. You need something that when you're doing the content, you can make a call to action within the content and send them over to your funnel, where you're going to get them on your email list, and then you'll have more chances to expose them to what it is that you do to actually help them solve their problem. If you don't build an email list and you don't use a funnel, then it's going to be really difficult for you to get in front of that person again. And with humans, we need multiple exposures. It's not that your stuff isn't good, that they're not buying it right away. It's they probably will buy it. You just need to expose them to it more. They need to learn about it. So one of the things that I offer in my funnel that gets people to join my list is I just created this right here. It's just a simple downloadable thing. Now, I printed it off so that I could actually show people what they get. You don't necessarily have to do this, although it works pretty good. But I just printed it off, made it, laminated so I could write like my website on it. And, it has 9 videos embedded in it, and it shows them my business model and everything. So if somebody's trying to figure out how to sell a digital program, or, sell a paid subscription community membership, or essentially make 6 or 7 figures online selling digital information because maybe they're a coach, an expert, or they've got some sort of skill in a particular area, they're going to really enjoy this because it shows how I go live. It shows, how I do email marketing, and then it just shows our business model. And a lot of people, they'll get this. They get it for free, but I get a chance to share with them what it is that I do to help them. So you're going to want to have something like this. And I've got other videos. I actually did a video a couple days ago that shows how I did this, but I'll show you. You can grab this and I'll show you exactly what this is. You just go down in the description of this video and you can get that. But you need to have some sort of funnel. Okay, I use a 4-step funnel. I have a landing page. They opt in. Then there's a video on the next page. And that next page also has a place where they can sign up for our membership. Then on the following page, they have where they can just join the membership. So if they purchase it, They can go to the next page and it just lets them into the community. It's automated, and then they get access to the program, the weekly calls, and then, of course, the community. So it's all automated in that way. And because I have it all set up this way in a system, all I have to focus on is, number one, constantly working on my marketing and my message, which we're going to talk about here. The second thing is I have to constantly be presenting my offer to the marketplace. Especially if you're brand new, the big thing that you need to be doing is constantly going out there with content and sharing with people what it is that you do to solve their problem so that they can find out about you, find out if it's for them, and buy it. And then finally, the thing that we're doing all the time is improving our product, making it better and better and better. So you need a funnel. Okay. If you don't have one of those, again, you can go down in the description. I'll show you what ours looks like. You can download that you can download that PDF, and it'll show you our program and show you how it does all that. Okay. You don't have to buy anything. It will just teach you stuff. And then you need to obviously be able to have a solution to offer to somebody. So if you've got a digital product or a digital program or an offer of some kind, then these things are going to be very valuable for you. So the first one here, when you're going to create content each and every day, you'll want to think about, how can I take what it is that I'm doing and turn it into some sort of story? A lot of people have trouble with stories, right? They're like, well, I don't know how to do stories. I don't know how to talk about that. It's really simple. Everything is going to stem from your solution. So my solution is I have a Build Lab program. It teaches people how to start and build a paid subscription community where they're going to create a digital product, and then they're going to have a community and weekly calls attached to it, and people will pay them monthly to have access to those pieces of information. So for instance, like my son, he's a runner. He's very serious about it. He's going to a D1 school. He wants to be a professional runner. He pays a coach $600 a month to help him be better at running. So that person that we pay to help him become a better runner has a skill of how to do running, how to be a professional runner, how to do the workouts, how to eat, how to think, how to everything, the whole 9 yards. So that's why we pay him for that solution. Let's just run off of that example for this right here, okay? So how could his runner coach teach, or how could that person create content using stories? Well, he could share stories about other runners that he's helped. He could share the story about how he got into running and why he wanted to teach it. And he could just say, this is where I started, this is what I went through, this is how it became this, and that's why I have this. A story is pretty simple. It's this person has a mission or a goal, or they had this thing that they wanted to do, and then they went out on this journey to do it, and something happened between where they started and where they ended. All right? So that's what you'd want to think about with your own solution. How did you come up with the solution? Why should they care about it? Where did this come from? What's going on? And then throughout your story, as I've kind of done with you here, you have a call to action. In his case, the call to action could be, hey, download my 6-step running guide for free, where I show you the 6 major things that we focus on, and check out this free training. And then people could go down into the description of that video or whatever website that he would have given them, and they would go to this funnel where they would get into an email list. And then on that email list, you would constantly have automated emails that go out and follow up with the people that opted in, sharing with them what it is that you do to help them solve their problem. So stories. People love stories. All right. Stories is how we pretty much learned everything, and still do all the time, is through story. Okay? The next thing that you'd like to do is observations. What do you observe about your space that you're in with your solution? Okay? So using the running analogy again, that coach could literally say, I seen a bunch of other coaches out there, and they were talking about this, or I was watching a race where these runners were doing X, Y, and Z, and I noticed this was happening, and here's how I would do it different, or here's how I would do the same thing, but this way. So you're basically just sharing observations, all right? And through that, people will learn from you that, oh gosh, this person actually does know what they're talking about, And always throughout your content, you're dropping little call to actions. I've done several of them in this video. If you watch this again, you'll hear how I subtly do the things that I'm doing. I showed you the thing as an example, like I showed you this, but it was also a call to action. You might be wanting to grow your online business. You might want to sell digital products, or you might want to start a course or have a paid subscription community where people pay you a monthly membership fee to have access to you and your content and the other members in the program. So that's how you can do those subtle call to actions and drive people to the funnel. So for instance, if you were to go down in the description, click on that link to go get this and download it, you would be entering into my funnel. Now, if you don't want to keep getting the emails from me, all you have to do is unsubscribe. But maybe you like the emails because of the value that I provide in them and all the different videos and things that I show you. And a lot of people will just be able to look at that stuff and figure it out on their own without even having to join my Build Lab program. And if that's the case, they might share me with other people. And this is what's happening on a daily basis. And you want to be creating content like this every single day. Why wouldn't you? You know, if people don't know what it is that you do to help them solve their problem, how on earth are they able to buy it? So stories, observations. The next one is listicles. So you could consider this as a listicle, what I'm sharing with you, right? I've got basically a list of 9 profitable black hole content ideas, and I'm providing you value, and I'm showing you how to generate profit, generate impact, and create impact, and grow your brand. Okay? So this is a listicle. People love these, and it's very catchy. People love having a list like this. I'm going to be sharing a powerful list with you as we go here that you can apply to your own life and business and to grow your own profit, brand, impact, right? So create lists. So the runner could create a list of, here's the top foods that people eat before a big race, or here's the 5 things that people do to prepare for a race, or here's the 5 different things that people can do to, decrease their time, or you get the picture. So think of what it is that you offer and pull everything from your solution. So many people go, well, I don't know where to come up with the things. Well, what is the solution that you're offering? Think about this. Like, let's take this thing here. So this Cam Link 4K is what I can plug I've got a DSLR camera here. I can plug my DSLR camera into this, and then I can plug this into my computer, and then I can use my DSLR for a webcam. Right now I'm just using my iPhone. But if this was my solution, I could create a listicle talking about all the different types of ways that, here's 3 ways that you can use this. Or here's some observations that I found when people tried to use their camera as webcams. Or how did we come up with this? Well, one day we were trying to figure out how to use our DSLR with our computer and there wasn't anything. So we created this. Okay, everything stems from the solution. What does it do? How does it get here? What do you observe? What are some different things what's a list of different things that I could use this for? How I could apply it to my life? So with your digital product, what are all the different things that you do and the product can do, and list those things out. Everything stems from the product. Think of your product as like the core of every piece of content that you create. You reach into the product and pull out a piece, and you use these systems that I'm giving you here to create the content. And from these 9 things, you can create literally thousands and thousands, endless amounts of content, okay, that will actually convert into money because we're using call to actions, we're driving them to a funnel, and in the funnel, they'll get enough exposure and understanding, and they'll really realize why it is important to be a part of your program or buy your program or whatever, okay? And that's where the profit, your impact by solving problems, and your brand grows, all right? So what is the next one? And if you have any questions about any of these things, just use the comments down below so I can help you answer those questions. So this is one of my favorites. You could do old versus new, right? Here's what people used to do. Here's what we do now. Or, past versus present, or us versus them. Mac did a huge campaign back in the day. You can look this up on YouTube. You can literally go to YouTube, type in Mac commercials, okay? Mac versus PC commercials. And they did PC versus Mac, and they had PC as this, like corny white dude with a brown suit. He was just kind of dull and boring, whatever, and kind of nerdy. And then they had the Mac was represented by this hipster, because that's their ideal customer, this like artsy hipster, like new age, modern type person. And they did all these things. I really encourage you to go watch those. They were a very profitable set of commercials, and it was a great campaign that Mac did to grow their business. So go check those out. But old versus new. Here's the way they used to do running. Okay, back to that running example. Here's how they used to coach running, but this is the new way and why we changed it to this. Now, if you want to get my guide, again, you can reference the guide and send them. That's the call to action, and then get them onto your email list. The key with content and making it actually profitable is to have a valuable offer that you can make a call to action in the side of the content to go get, so that they get on your email list. Otherwise, you have to keep going out there and hoping that you can get their attention again, because it takes several exposures before somebody actually buys something. I mean, think about it. How many things do you have in your Amazon, I'll buy it later list, right? Like your shopping cart list. Or how many things are you going to buy you just haven't bought yet? Not for any other reason other than you just haven't bought it yet. But the more you get exposed to it, and the more you see it, and the more you see it, it closes the time gap when you're actually going to buy. You see what I'm saying? So when you're presenting content, if you can get people on an email list, instead of having to go out there and hope they see your content again, you can just create a piece of content and email it to your list. As a matter of fact, you might be watching this video because you are on my email list. And instead of me hoping I can find you again, I just emailed this to you. You can do the exact same thing. And every day, people join our Build Lab program to learn how to do this stuff on a deeper level, more connected level. And basically, they just want to learn how to make money online, selling information, selling answers, selling results to people, helping them, right? We just get them there faster. We get them there easier. We get them there in a more fun way. And we save them a lot of time and money and heartache. That's a lot of times what you're going to be doing too. But you have to be able to share with them why it matters so that they will trade their money for your value. Old versus new is a great way to do this. Okay, past versus present. You can literally always do this. And I wanted to add one thing back here on the observations. Another example of observations is when you react to things, right? So I've done some videos where I would look at a video and I would film myself looking at it, and they would be saying something. I did one with Elon Musk, how he was talking about how they would do advertising. He said 3 things about how to do advertising. It's a video on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. But I reacted to that video. And that's a great way to do things because it gives you a subject to discuss, and you can talk about how you are for that or maybe against that and why. And that's so important because people are learning about what it is that you do to help them. Our product, we talk about advertising. I teach how to do paid ads inside of, Build Lab, and I teach how to do content and all those things. So it was from my solution. I pulled it out of my solution, but I found something out there that I could observe, and then you could do the old versus new. The old way, like exactly what I'm doing, the old way used to be just buy a program, right? You would just buy a digital course. Well, that's the old way, and people aren't so excited about that anymore. It still works, but the new way is to have a digital course or program, but attach a live community, private live support community, and then attach weekly Zoom sessions to that, which then all those things together create this new type of digital product that people really are going to. The Gen Z, the newer generations, they really enjoy that, and it provides so much more value. I do 2 calls a week with my customers inside of Build Lab. They can ask me questions directly. We can solve problems right there in that live session. I record it, and then I add that to the program. So the program keeps getting better each and every week. They get live access to myself and other members to collaborate, And then they have a private community where as people are going through things, they can discuss what they're learning together, and people just get results faster. They're getting to those results that they want much faster, which is they just want to make more money than the average bear. They want to have more time freedom, and they want to do stuff that they actually like to do. And people are learning more and more and more about this type of thing. You might be somebody that has a skill set, or you want to be very skilled in something, and you want to help people with that thing, right? I learned the internet thing. I wanted to know how to make money using the internet. So I studied that. And for 10 plus years, I've been doing that. And I teach other people how to do it. You might be teaching people how to get in shape. You might be teaching people how to have a better relationship. You might be teaching people how to make money in the way that you figured it out. Using this type of system and strategy is how you do it in today's world. Okay, so old versus new, great way to create content. All right, the next one, and if you're wondering what program this is Miro, as you can see up here in the corner. Pretty cool program, isn't it? And I'm recording this with ScreenFlow, and I just have a mic plugged into my computer. I have my phone. It's Bluetooth connection right now. Pretty cool, right? Okay, contrarian. So basically, you can oppose things out there that everybody else is talking about, okay? So, you can... One person that's really good at this is like Andrew Tate. He's talking about the Matrix, and he's opposing this idea of what life is and all these different things. Trump is another example. He's a very contrarian type person, right? He will oppose the common thread that everybody else is following. And, this is a very good way to do things. Like for the runner, for instance, he could, the running coach, for instance, he could say, all these different types of running guides and coaches are all saying this, but honestly, that is not how I feel about it, and I oppose that, and here's the backing for why. And then he can, again, offer his guide, have something like this that he can have people download, a training program, and you just keep it very simple like this, and you get a lot of repetitions in there. But when you go against the grain and have a good reason for it, it makes you valuable. And people see that, okay, well, what is this? Why do they feel this way? And are they onto something? So using the contrarian viewpoint is very powerful. Another person that's really good at this is Cody Sanchez. She's a woman online. She worked with a big investment banking system or, program, I think, Black, I don't know, something, I don't even know. But she was, working for a big corporate thing. She went out on her own now, and now she opposes those types of things. And she's got a very cool newsletter you can join. But that contrarian view is another way to do great content. And just, again, pull it from your solution, have that call to action, get them into your funnel, and then through your funnel is where you're going to be converting a lot of people. One thing that I see a lot is people... For my own contrarian view, people are always, upset that people don't buy things right away when they go to their order page. Well, I'll tell you what, all the money's made in your email. And people say, well, email's dead, blah, blah, blah. No, it is not. The real truth of it is you're probably watching this video because I sent it to you via email. So is email dead? Okay. It's using that kind of viewpoint that helps people say, all right, okay, yeah, I see this. And it starts to change the dynamic about what you're offering, and you pull it from your solution, and it always leads back to it. Okay, because the only reason you're creating content in the first place is to help people solve their problem, which is your solution. Okay, the next thing is, and put down which of these are you already using, or which ones have you not heard of before, okay? So the next one is just teaching. Okay, I'm teaching right now. I'm also doing a listicle, right? So you can combine these two, okay, or these three, or these 9. You could combine all of them, and you're kind of doing all of them together, but you can teach somebody something that you learned, okay? And then you can make the call to action, all right? The next thing, let's see here if I can get this connected. It says we lost a connection here. All right, here we go. The next one, let me get this to go here. The next one is tools. So I kind of just did this. I shared the tools that I'm using, the mic, the Miro, this thing I'm using here, the video. So one thing you can do is, here's the tools that we use to improve running. It's kind of funny, behind me right now, my son's in his room here. We're at an Airbnb here in Oregon, and he's running at this Nike run here in Oregon in Eugene. But he's using tools in there right now. He used this vibrator gun to like loosen up his muscles. He's got this like hyperbaric thing that he puts on his legs. And so the running coach could share a bunch. Here's 6 tools that I suggest runners use to keep their legs ready, their body ready, yada yada yada. And then he could make a call to action to download his thing, where then he would sell them his coaching, his program, etc. And that's how he would get new members into his program. Okay, so tools. The next one here is lessons. Okay, now it's not lessons in the way of lessons you would think like lessons in a book or lessons in a guide or something like that. It's more like these are the things that I got from doing X. All right, these are the lessons I learned. For instance, like this. Here's some lessons that I learned in doing content that didn't make money and content that did make money. So in this way, these different things, these are 9 different things that I've learned that actually make money, and I'm applying it to this whole thing, okay? Pretty simple. Come up with, what are the lessons you learned building your product? What are the lessons you learned in life that led to creating your product? What are the lessons that you got away from failing, from winning? Okay, these are very easy content ideas that work. And then finally, why it happened. Okay, when I did this thing, here's why it happened this way, or what I found out why this happened, that's why I want to share this with you. Okay, or in creating this program or helping these people, they did this, and here's why it happened. Or maybe you're creating content that doesn't make money for your online business, and here's why that's happening. Okay, or the runner example, you see how he didn't finish the race. Well, here's why this happened. He didn't pace himself, or he didn't do this correctly. Those things teach people things, and then they're like, man, I want to learn more, and I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to me. And then again, you make your call to action, you send them to your funnel, and then boom, you get a chance to continue to help them until they get to the point where they're like, okay, I've heard enough, I've seen enough, I trust this person, and I want to do this. Okay? So that is what I've got for you. Just go down in the description if you'd like to download this here. And I've got a program that can help you as well. But this thing here will show you everything that we do. You can find out if it's for you. And if you're already doing this, it can show you how to do it better. All right? I'll see you in the next one.